A 15-year-old girl's birthday party got so out of control that it nearly ended up destroying an entire town. This is wild. And it all starts in 2008 in Melbourne, Australia, when this 16-year-old throws a party at his house while his parents are away. His name is Corey. And Corey's little house party ends up turning into a big house party as the invites get way out of control, and soon enough, over 500 people show up, and it turns into an impromptu block party. Now eventually, police show up, and this whole ordeal makes the news for some reason, and when they interview Corey, he doesn't really give a damn.
Corey, thanks for joining us. The only question that I can think to ask is, what were you thinking?
I wasn't really.
And it's this interview where Corey gives us this 2008 viral moment.
Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologise to everybody that you frightened? Take off your glasses and apologise to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
Why not?
'Cause they're famous.
Because your glasses are famous.
Yeah.
And so clips of Corey's interview blow up because people think it's hilarious and they're sharing it all over. Well, allegedly, this video inspires the 2012 movie Project X. It's that movie where a bunch of teens throw a massive house party that ends up getting out of control. And at the end of the movie, there's even a news interview similar to Corey's real one.
I was thinking more along the lines of an apology. Would you like to apologize?
I got a better idea. How about I invite you to my next party?
What?
And that brings us to the Netherlands, 2012, in a little town called Haren. And living in Haren is this girl, Merta. And Merta's 15 during this time, and she's a normal Dutch kid, and she's got a birthday coming up. She's gonna be 16. And so she wants to throw herself a little birthday party at her house. Just her and some of her friends, no big deal. So she gets on Facebook and she creates a public event page for her 16th birthday party celebration. And a few hours go by, and around 80 people have accepted her invitation. That's a lot of people to cram into her little house. But it's doubtful that all of them will actually show up. Here's the thing though. Some of these friends forward this invitation to their friends, and those people forward it to their friends, and they do it again and again and again. And from there, it quickly snowballs. And in 2 days, 16,000 people have been invited to this 15-year-old girl's birthday party. And so Merta's like, what the fuck? And she goes and she tells her parents, thousands of people are supposedly coming to my party. What do I do? And her parents are like, shut it down, delete the page. And so Merta deletes the entire Facebook event. And nothing to worry about. Everything is fixed. And that is the end of the party. Oh, but it's not. Because other people, just like random trolls on the internet, they think it would be funny to recreate the Facebook event page and continue sharing it around and inviting people. Because the movie Project X came out that same year, and these trolls think it'll be amusing to create a massive Project X type party at this random Dutch girl's house. In fact, they don't just recreate her deleted invite page, several pages are made, but the big one is actually called Project X Haren. And they share this event page everywhere, even off of Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube, on random blogs, and people not in on the joke, they start taking it seriously. They think this is some kind of like festival for Merta's birthday, and people start making event flyers and posting them on social media. They're making video trailers for this party, and so it gets more and more traction. And within a week, 24,000 people have been invited to Merta's party, and 2,400 people have accepted. Now keep in mind, Merta's not throwing a party at all now. Like, it's been canceled. But these people don't know that, so they keep sharing. Some people are even putting up actual physical flyers advertising the event. And so by this time, Merta's parents, they're kind of freaking out. I mean, are 24,000 people really gonna show up to their house? That's more than the population of the entire town. And so they try and do what they can. They warn the neighbors, they distribute a letter throughout the neighborhood to all their neighbors like, I think thousands of people are about to show up to our town for a party that doesn't actually exist. And then 4 days later, the invitation count is now up to 55,000 people, and 6,000 people have accepted. This means the invite count has gotten so big that the local news media is now talking about it, and this inadvertently advertises the party even more because now it's on TV. And so a few days after that, around 30,000 people have accepted the invitation and marked that they are coming to this party in Harran. And by this point, people online have made actual festival maps of this place. This one here, I mean, you can see there appears to be a main stage right in front of Märta's house. And so now people in the town are worried, like city officials gotta get involved because they know this is about to be big and they don't want all these strangers taking over the town. And the mayor has to come out and make a public statement calling for people not to come to Harran. They apparently shut down a bunch of streets and they temporarily banned the sale of alcohol in the area. But none of that seems to matter because random people are still determined to make this party happen. They go way out of their way to advertise it. And so finally, the big day arrives. Märta's birthday. And poor Märta and her family, they leave their house, like they go somewhere private to stay for a while because they don't want to be involved in all this. And as the day goes on, sure enough, thousands of people show up to Harran and they start pouring in, not just people from the Netherlands, but people from all over Europe. And they start partying right there in the open street. And they're like drinking and having a good time. They're singing happy birthday to Märta, a girl they've never even met. Happy birthday, dear Märta. And so yeah, it's a big party and it's loud and annoying for the residents, but you know, no big deal. At least it didn't get out of control. Until by the time the sun goes down, the thousands of people there are all pretty drunk. And some of them start getting a little rowdy and tearing shit up. I mean, they're breaking things down, they're destroying whatever they can find, they're pulling down traffic signs, they're lighting benches on fire, they're lighting cars on fire, they're breaking into local businesses, and then like a mob of them will just rush in and grab whatever they can. I mean, here's some footage of them breaking into another local shop, like tearing it up too. And so of course, police, they have to call in riot control because they're trying to keep this thing from getting out of hand. And so the riot control shows up and people start getting aggressive and like throwing things at them. And so police have to call in more officers from outside provinces to help control the crowd. But these partygoers, they don't give a shit. They start throwing things at them too. In fact, they get into a whole standoff with them, and ultimately it looks like police lose as they are quickly overwhelmed by the amount of people there and they have to back away. And at the end of all this madness, this town is trashed. Dozens of partygoers are injured, and bam, 34 people get arrested. And like the mayor's all pissed off and he has to come out and he calls the partygoers scum.
Let's be clear. Last night, scum wreaked havoc in our community.
Meanwhile, poor Märta, she's probably just sitting there wherever she and her family are hiding, looking all sad like, happy birthday to me.